Okay, so I'm going to start with a little story. My wife and I started this 13 years ago. She's actually in the audience somewhere. So I'm going to tell a little story starting with Steve. Steve in 2010 was a dad, husband, great son, a football coach in California, taught a class in history. So what you and I would call a pretty average guy. And in 2011, his mom, who happened to live in Seattle, he moved to Seattle. So to help his mother, because she was having some health issues. So she'd lived by herself, so he moved up here to help with her just health issues. Well, what happened was, over about a 6-month period of time, his mother died, house went in foreclosure, and his marriage went, his wife filed for divorce. So a pretty bad tailspin. So what are we going to do to help Steve? So here's what we're doing. This is Steve in 2012. And this is how Patty and I met Steve. So he's in an event called Survive the Streets that we've held for 13 years. And it started by us giving a plate of food to a few people down the street and some socks. That's all we did. That was 1999, and now we give away all kinds of things every year on Thanksgiving Day. So we have them lined up every year now. We're giving away hats, gloves, socks, coats, sleeping bags, you name it. Things that are needed by the people in the streets, we're giving it away. We set up a mock store, and they're able to just take what they want. So now, 2012, 272 people we've helped. And we thought, hey, we can do something better. We got to be able to figure out a way we can do this every day, not just once a year, but every day. So what do we do? Well, how do we do that? Well, what do we want to know when we donate? We want to know who is getting the help. We want to know where the money goes, and we want to know what is the result of the money we just gave. So think back in the time in the last 6 months you've given money. Do you actually know where the money went? And do you know what the result was you giving the money? Most of you will probably shake your heads no. Well, we are creating a platform for giving. Basically crowdfunding for needs, for people that have needs that are not able to get them met by other community nonprofit organizations. So let's look at Steve. What caused Steve to go in a real tailspin? He was taking his mother to the hospital, and his car went out, and so he couldn't fix his transmission. $370. That's what really caused that spiral. Now, how many would have given him $10 or $20 or $15 to help him fix his car? If we knew about it, right? If we knew about it. We didn't know that. But with our Survive the Streets, we now know that. So we've created a website where you can go and meet people and see what they need. So here is a person. This isn't a real person, but here's a person that needs an item. Right? You see a story about him. You see where he came from. You see maybe his favorite book, maybe his favorite story. And you see what he needs. Individual things that can change his life. They're not expensive. They're easy to maintain. You're seeing an update on what he's doing with his life, what's going on. So here's the things, needs, services, or goods. So a dentist, a doctor, an eye doctor, a deposit on an apartment, a bus pass, all those things are need that we can fill easily through the system. It's very easily done because we can actually, we're giving the money to the service provider, not to the person. So let's go back to Steve. He needed help. We could have given him help with our system. He would have changed his life. It would have completely changed his life. One simple $370 item completely changes his life. And we, as a community, can do that if we know who to help and how to help them. And Survive the Streets allows that to happen. It's a really simple system. Steve has a need. He goes to a nonprofit or a church, right? He needs help. So he goes to a source. The nonprofit, we verify the nonprofit is actually a real nonprofit. Then he posts the need. We verify that Steve is a real person. The nonprofit helps us do that. Then the need gets filled. We send the money to the provider, and then we send the good or service to the person. So the money never goes to the individual, it goes to the service provider, whether that's rent, whether that's a bus pass, whatever it is. They're just getting the good or service, and that's really what they want. Believe me, we've been giving things to homeless for 13 years. I've shaken thousands and given hundreds of people hugs. I have to leave. Thank you very much. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks.